Any conversation about health care and Medicare for all in this country inevitably overlaps with the notion that Democrats have had for quite some time now, establishment Democrats anyway, that you have to somehow be moderate, that moderation, centrism is the road to success, that maybe by not pushing too hard for what you believe in, you'll get it, which is a kind of magic incantation that I have never understood. In fact, it's something that I've been actively fighting for quite a while, which is why it really did my heart a whole lot of good the other day to see one of the new members of Congress and one of its new leading voices, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, say this recently at the South by Southwest conference. She was asked by Brianna Gray, writer, been on this program a couple times. She was asked what she thought about I guess in general, you'd say the argument that Democrats need to be more moderate, that centrism is a winning approach, and that maybe these new young members of Congress like Ocasio-Cortez and Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib are going too fast. And this was Ocasio-Cortez's response.
It's like this, it feels like moderate is not a stance, it's just an attitude toward life of like,
Well, don't hold back, tell me how you really feel about incrementalism.
But here's the thing that upsets me is that we've become so cynical that we view meh or we view cynicism as an intellectually superior attitude. And we view ambition as youthful naivete. When we think about the greatest things we have ever accomplished as a society have been ambitious acts of vision. And the meh is like worship now for what? Like for what?
See, I love this more than I can even say, and I think one of the reasons, there are multiple reasons why I love it. One of them is that she's, of course, absolutely right, that the great things that this country has accomplished, whether it's the New Deal, whether it's Social Security, Medicare, whether it's human space flight to the moon, name it, winning World War II, any of the great things that we have done, sometimes as with winning World War II in concert with other countries, they've all been because we've had the ambition and the vision to do it. This attitude of what AOC calls meh. You know, this has never been a winning attitude, and yet for some people, it's more than just a strategic approach to politics. It's an ideology. It's a way of life, and it's satisfying for me, deeply satisfying on a personal level to see people take up this cause, because as I said, I've been fighting for it for a long time. In fact, after I watched this clip, I looked up, I usually am not this self-referential, but I looked up how long I've been fighting this notion that centrism is the way to go for Democrats. I said, in 2006, I wrote Centrism and Bipartisanship for Democrats Only in the Huffington Post, pointing out that Time magazine was telling Democrats it's a bipartisan world and, quote, centrism is the place to be, unquote. But only Democrats are told that. Only Democrats ever believe that, as Republicans get more and more extreme. Now, back in those days, it was about the Iraq War. Now, don't be too harshly against the Iraq War just because people are needlessly dying and we're inflicting violence on other people and spending enormous amounts of money and so on. Just be bipartisan and centrist about all of that. As I wrote back then, centrism and bipartisanship are euphemisms for the mutual interests of Washington party insiders. Democracy demands that government respond to the voters' mandate by ending the war. Sadly, it's not going to happen anytime soon. Now, the incrementalism of that day was about the war. The incrementalism of today is about not wanting to save the lives of the tens of thousands of Americans who die every year because we don't have adequate health care. Incrementalism has never gotten us in the modern political environment to where we want to be. We need a bold vision, and we need to be prepared to act on this vision. So I am so encouraged to see people like these new young Democrats stepping up, because they're the ones who are going to change this country for the better.